welcome to show 59. It's raining outside, but we've got a little Miss Sunshine in the shed.
Yay!
The first lady of the shed, the Michelle Obama of the shed.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, she's bought 9 killers.
9 absolute killers, honestly. It puts our records, what we play, to shame. So what we've got today is a lovely little one that we're starting off with by Kenny Rankin. What is it? No, I know, she's a bit forgetful. So, this one's called The Name of Love, and it's on Jazz Peace Records, and it's really, really very, very nice. And I will shut up now so you can hear it for a little bit. It's like a man who scats.
Orsie's going to shout us her head nodding.
Oh, she's got a hell of a break, so yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lovely interview coming up later as well, in the middle of the show. Nicest woman in the world, I think.
Yeah. Besides, obviously, my wife and Brad's girlfriend.
And your mums. And your sisters.
Give or take it. Spin doctor, obviously,
This is cracking.
So, yeah, but this is all Orsie's sort of selection. So, could you tell us why you brought this one along?
I brought this along because the first time I heard it was on a William mixtape called Mixed Up in Love. And I got obsessed with it. And I was used to wind it back so I could hear it over again. And he didn't play the full song. And when I started working at Fat City, I found it in one of the 45 racks. And I was like, oh my god, I need to have this 45. So I brought it because it has a bit of value to me.
Yeah, and that's what music should be. It should be value to you, really. Not a trophy piece. No.
Anyway, moving on.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And here he is.
This is what we need at the beginning of every show, isn't it, really? People clapping as we come into the shed. Hooray! But this one is a bit of a promotion from you guys, right?
Yes, so this will be an exclusive 45 that you will only be able to buy on jazzmanrecords.co.uk and fatcity.co.uk because we're actually launching a new Jazzman site.
When's that going to be?
It's going to be, I think, the week that people are seeing this for the first time.
Oh, right, okay, so next week.
Next week.
Yeah, well, next week, this week.
Oh, yes, of course, sorry, yeah.
Last week.
Yeah, we obviously do this live, yeah. And what a killer track it is, so I think a lot of people are going to be trying to get this off your website. I know I am. Because we didn't get any free stuff.
No free stuff.
It's because you need to invite me back and then I'll...
Oh, right, okay.
You bought enough records so we couldn't play. So we might have to invite you back.
Yeah. She's coming back. Yeah. But this, by the way, is Aishola Muhammad. Open Up Your Heart on Guest Records, and it is an absolute killer. Wicked tune. Yeah. Makes me shimmy anyway. Don't do that, Brad. Anyway, yeah, wicked tracks. So remember, you can only get this off of the website. So we'll put all the details up here, and
We'll put the details up here and block out Orsie's face.
yeah, no. Maybe we'll try and get it across the top. Anyway, wicked tune. So we got another one coming up now. Ooh. Now there's another promo here, isn't there? Yeah.
The suspense.
I know. There's like Jazzman's behind her with a little prodding stick. Oh, what a wicked tune.
This is on Soul Spectrum, and this is...
Yeah, this is Master
Plan Incorporated.
And it's basically a promo for an LP that will be out in September.
Which I will be getting.
And this is also unreleased, so this is a worldwide exclusive.
You saw it, heard it here first. That's right. Brilliant. Absolutely gorgeous. Something to be done by Master Planning. Yeah, it's really cool.
And this is like most of the album has never been like songs that have never been released before.
Right, okay.
Jazzman has been digging very deep.
Yes, I imagine he has, yeah.
So the album's out in September, but there's 7 promos out.
7 will come out the week after this ends.
Right, okay,
There you
brilliant.
go. Next week.
Beautiful. It's such a tune. The Shed is a TARDIS, and Doctor Who does come in every now and then, so who knows when this is actually going to be going out. But yeah, this is a killer tune. Absolutely brilliant. I'm definitely going to be getting a copy of this.
Yeah, I reckon a lot.
Not for free, obviously, but no, I think everything she's brought along tonight, I've got to have that. I've got to have that. So.
It'll be skipped tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's alright. It was payday yesterday. No worries.
Cool.
Brilliant. Anyway,
Anyway.
another hit next.
Savril Pain.
When I open my eyes.
On potential.
On potential.
Hey.
When I open my eyes, will you still be there?
Wicked tune.
Girls used to say this to Chris all the time when he wouldn't leave them when he was drunk.
I thought you guys were behaving.
We sucker drained, didn't we?
We behaved for 8 minutes.
We have. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's a great tune.
It's a brilliant tune. It's so good.
And the flip's good too.
The flip, yeah, Blossom Dairy on the other side, London in the Rain, which is a killer tune as well. Really nice. I think the album's on Fontana from about 1970 or something like that. It's a cracking album as well. Well, you know, all of the details are going to be coming up down here, so you know where you can get it from.
You can get this at the moment, yeah?
Fat City seems to be the place to be, doesn't it?
And if you can't, Discogs, eBay.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely. Really, very nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit wispy here. Okay. Now we're going back to the motherland, right?
Yes.
Okay, so from this to Sweden.
This is the best track she brought along, in my opinion.
Yeah, nice bit of Swedish jazz funk.
Yes.
It has a sweary beginning, but we didn't want to offend any of our younger Swedish fans.
That's right, yeah, because we know there's bloody millions of them out there.
Yeah,
All
millions.
those Swedish blonde girls.
It's more like Swedish old men, maybe, but I don't think there's even them. Anyway, what's this?
Svenska Lörd AB.
There you go.
With hörselmat, which you can see at the back.
Oh yeah, there you go. It's the Swedish White Album. That's what we'll call it.
Hörselmat.
Yes, that basically means hearing food.
I like that. Wicked, really cool.
And this is, you tell us a story behind this. They released it themselves.
Yes, and 1,000 copies. I have 100.
That's right. So someone we know tried to get the rights to this, but the band actually tried to. Actually, then released it themselves. I released only 1,000 copies.
Yeah.
So I'll be buggered if I'm going to be able to find a copy of this for under 50 quid, am I really?
Well, yeah, we had them shipped in especially from Sweden direct, and they sold out in like a week.
Okay, well maybe I'll download it or something like that. Yeah. Good luck finding this, suckers. Anyway, keeping this by the way. Right, well, we are welcoming the First Lady to the Shed. Woo! Hey!
The First Lady of the Shed.
It only took a year and a bit, but here we are. So welcome Orsii to the Shed.
Thank you.
As everyone, we have to ask, how did you get into record collecting? How did you get into music in the first place?
Well, music I got into mainly from my dad. He always wanted to become a musician, but he grew up in communist Romania from a very wealthy family.
Wow.
And his parents wanted him to become a doctor or a lawyer, so he wasn't allowed to play any music.
And what type of music would he have wanted to have got into?
Well, at that time, it was a lot of music that you could only get in Eastern Europe, because obviously you had
So
the
traditional music.
Yeah, traditional
right.
music, and some. I mean, he was into Led Zeppelin, a lot of rock that they had to smuggle in from the West. So he loved all of those, Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd,
Sure.
and then a lot of Hungarian bands as well. That I don't know if you've heard, like 70s Eastern European, like rock funk.
Yeah,
So it was
I
very
tried to.
funky but
I
rocky.
tried to collect it, but it's hard to come by. I need to get over there.
Yeah, so he kind of got into that, and then he moved his collection kind of with him when he fled to Sweden before I was born.
Right.
And then when me and my mum joined him in '89, like my earliest memories are just hearing my dad playing music or going around my parents' like friends' houses, and music was always around, or driving around in his tiny car, and like always music.
Sure.
So that's how I kind of got into it. And I know my parents have told me that we used to go to this jazz festival in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I saw this guy playing saxophone on the street, and I just turned around to my mum going, I'm going to play that when I grow up.
Right.
And I actually did. So.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
you do play saxophone?
I do. Started playing when I was 8.
Wow. Okay.
I don't really know how school works here in England, but when I was 13, when I was 13 years old, I had a choice of going to an international school for 3 years before high school, or go to music school. And I had to do like an entrance test to both schools, and I got in at both.
Wow.
And I had to beg my parents to go, please let me go and play music for 3 years. And I promised through high school I will work so hard and get the best grades, just let me have fun for 3 years.
Right.
So they let me, and I played a lot of music, and I got really good grades. And then I went to an international school for high school where everything was taught in English. And already before I got into that, I just knew that the only thing I could work with was music. So
Right.
I started international, like high school, for my own band.
Right.
So I was the lead singer.
What were they called?
And what type of band?
It was like a funk ska band.
Okay. Okay.
Very much like very early 90s, No Doubt, before
Okay.
they went very poppy.
I heard you can get the 7 on Jazzman.
Oh, and I've heard that he's thinking about releasing it. Is that right?
But he's trying to.
Let's hope it's one of those holy grails.
Yes,
that-
I've heard. Yeah, so I've heard. I've been trying to find one of those bad boys.
So yeah, we had a band for 3 years. I was the singer and the manager, and I wrote the songs.
And
And
how old were you at this point?
16.
16. Right.
And prior to that, I was into hip hop a lot. So from age of 8, 9, I always used to hang out with the boys, and their big brothers used to break dance, and I was like, oh my god, what is this music? I was always fascinated by the music, and that's how I kind of got into funk.
Sure.
And when I saw I got a bit older and was allowed to go out to gigs and stuff, like the DJ and the turntables, and that's how I got into physical records, not just
Sure.
seeing it from my dad, but how they were scratching and mixing it, and then how they got the crowd going and the b-boys dancing. And
Yeah.
I've tried every single aspect of the hip-hop culture. Tried breakdancing and I sucked. Tried emceeing and I sucked. I tried graffiti and I sucked. And then I was like, never mind, I'm just going to focus on trying to become a DJ. But I wasn't interested in mixing. I just wanted to learn how to scratch.
Right.
So whilst I was having the band when I was 16, I used to go and be tutored by one of Malmö, the Swedish town where I come from, one of their first hip-hop DJs, DJ Kidsgram.
Okay.
And he just used to let me borrow his decks and just teach me how to scratch.
So,
And I can't scratch anymore because I kind of...
I'm sure you could rock a party with some flutters
But
and
I
that.
was just amazed. And
Yeah.
how, like the movements and so
Okay.
like I moved to London when I was almost 19, and I didn't know anybody here. I came here to study music and media management at university, and I came with I had a suitcase and that's all I had. And then gradually I didn't have any decks, but I started buying records. Like, well, that sounds nice. Once I can afford and have the space to have decks, I'll be able to play it. And I think it was through the Brownswood Records Forum. I got a gig up in Nottingham, and it wasn't even a gig, it was like some people from the forum coming together playing like 20-30 minutes of random records, and I still have the poster.
Of course, everyone should keep their first posters and
that was
flyers.
like 3 years ago, and I was so nervous, and it was just like a little pub somewhere, not even very central, but that was just such a key moment for me, because nobody until then had ever heard my personal records,
Sure.
being played. So.
What sort of stuff were you playing at your first gig?
I played everything. So a bit of the stuff we're hearing on the show, because my taste is very eclectic.
Good. Bit like me and Brad, we're eclectic.
Well, my entire professional career has been luck. So when I was in my last year at university, I got a message on Last FM, if you know that website, from this random guy who I didn't know called Tristan, going, "Hi, I like the kind of music that you're listening to. Would you be interested in working for Giles Peterson's record label?"
God.
And I remember it came at the most, I don't know, the most sad point, or one of the saddest and lowest points of my life. I'd just broken up with my boyfriend that I'd been with for over a year. We were living together, and I'd flown back home from Sweden for his birthday, and we had a 2-week break for Easter, and we broke up literally the day before the break, and I was stuck in London all on my own whilst all my friends had gone home for Easter.
Okay, did he break up with you?
No, I broke up with him.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But I was
we
still
were going to slag him off, and we were going to name him and shame him.
But I was still gutted, and at the end of those 2 weeks, I'd just been crying my eyes out, thinking my life is so shit. I get this message from Tristan, and I'm like, yes, of course I do. And it turns out, because I was living up in North London at the time, that Brownswood was literally a 20-minute walk from my flat. So 2 days later, I went for an interview, and yeah, they kind of hired me to intern there, and that's what I did. For I think 8-9 months.
Right.
And then through that, I obviously got to know and got to meet so many people. And sadly, they couldn't offer me a full-time position because the label manager was going away to start a family. So I started working within like digital agencies, digital media, and did that for I think 2.5 years. But I'd always heard about Breaking Bread, and I knew about their nights and the radio show from like my hip-hop days. And I've been trying to meet up with Skeg for so long, and finally, I think 2 days before...
Please don't give him too much of a big head.
But you know, for me, meeting Skeg was a big deal at the time. I know. It really was.
We love you, Dave.
And I remember going there to meet him.
And being so disappointed. We're only kidding.
Be nice. I went there with my friend Dylan because we had been invited to a dinner party in the evening, and it turns out at this meeting that Dylan had been hosting the Breaking Bread stuff at the Jazz Cafe, and I had no clue. I just went there. This is my mate Dylan. He's like, "Hey, I know he used to host our gigs." I'm like, "Oh, really?" And Dylan was like, "You have to give this girl a job. She is like a golden goose. She knows everybody. She's really hardworking. She knows her music." And I was like, "Stop it, stop it, stop it." And Skeg was like, "Well, send me an email because I might have something for you that you might like." So I went away, sent him my CV, and yeah, 2 days later, Jasmine Gerald is calling me 8 times on my cell phone whilst I'm sitting away, like pressing ignore, and it turns out that it was for his job at Fat City because he was planning on leaving. And it was the same when I met Gerald. It's like, it's this guy in a warehouse in West London. Yeah, this is a bit odd. And I was meant to stay for like 20 minutes, and I ended up staying there for 3 hours. We were just talking about his travels like to the United States and how he used to hunt down people at retiring homes for the first few Jazzman releases, and we just really clicked. And I just kind of felt like I had to go for the job, really, because seeing his collection and hearing his stories, I would have just hated myself, I think, for the rest of my life if I wouldn't have gone for it.
Shit, I think anybody would have.
Yeah. But now it's like, J-Rock will be like, "Oh my god, Jasmine Gerald," or like people like that. And you're like, it's just the dude who sits opposite me. Like, it's not a big deal, but he is a big deal. And I don't think... Like,
could you give us any dirt on him?
I have in the past, and I get told off, so I'm just going to keep that.
I was joking, don't worry. Your secrets are safe with us, Gerald.
For now.
Yeah, we're going to get her drunk later. No. I mean, do you have any say in some of the things that come out, or is it obviously all Gerald? Or
Well, up until a year ago, we had an office in West London, so I used to go in every single day. We shared an office, and then he would play me everything. Now I go out once or twice a month, and he still like quality checks, and he always asks for my opinion. He doesn't always do what I recommend him to do, but it means a lot that he actually genuinely cares about what I have to say and what I think. But I mean, 95% of the time we have the same idea, so that's quite good. But at those other 5% when we don't, we have a discussion, and I will tell him why I think he should do it this way or the other way, and he always listens, and sometimes he will change his mind, and sometimes he will stick to his guns, but we always have a conversation about it, and that's quite nice. Like I was showing you on the records earlier, it's nice to see my name on the liner notes. It's like something so bizarre and nice at the same time. We put out this Best of Jeff Gilson, which is a French composer, pianist, and before we did that Best Of album, you couldn't even find him. Like, he had no Wikipedia page, nothing. And Joel went down there, and sadly he passed away, I think 6 months after we'd released the album. But Joel's gone back now, getting loads of acetates and like loads of unreleased material, and I think he must have had like a good 3 weeks of solid listening of every single song, and he listens to it all and he grades it, and then he goes through it again and go like, is this good enough to put my name on? And I have just so much respect for the patience he has and the lengths he goes through, not just to get the recordings, but to make sure that he pays his dues to the artist and the family, and making sure that he has the rights. And I just feel privileged to be working at a company where I know that the integrity is so.
And I think that's important, isn't it? Especially in these days. Well, not so much these days, but especially 10 years ago, where there were so many bootlegs of things that were coming out. You know, unknown artists all of a sudden coming out, and people weren't getting paid and all that sort of stuff. And the fact that he is actually going to those lengths to make sure that people are getting paid for records that never saw the light of day, or may even have been sold in tiny, minuscule amounts, is pretty cool.
He's so passionate about it, and I don't think, this is obviously, I'm very biased because I work with him, but I don't think he gets the recognition that he should. But at the same time, it would be a crime not to give people the opportunity to listen to all this amazing music.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the moment, my record collection is probably half just jazz releases.
Well, why not?
And then half my
And why
own
not?
stuff.
I mean, but they're such quality releases. I don't think it's going to be a bad record collection at all, is it? Wow.
But sometimes I feel a bit bad when I go and DJ and people can just see me putting on jazz man. But if the crowd loves it, then I'm like, why not play it?
Of course. But actually, some of Jazzman records are actually quite collectible in their own right now, aren't they? Especially some of the old ones now.
No, like he's done like the Sun Ra box sets. He's done. It was really cool. The pyramid, and we had the see-through 45, and then you had the glow-in-the-dark slip man, and like
that's just a labour of love, isn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like that,
But they sold out in 24 hours.
Of course. And that's the thing with record collecting. There are record collectors that will buy stuff regardless of price, because it's not going to, because it's going to go up in price.
And
But even some of the singles, some of the early sevens. Yeah.
And he's very strict. Like, when it's limited edition, it's limited edition. So when it's gone, it's gone.
Sure.
And it used to be very nice when we were based in West London, because the guy, Lindsay, who runs Firecracker Recordings, he had a screen printing operation above us, like in the same warehouse unit. So we got everything screen printed for these releases upstairs in-house. And it was such... I just loved that, how you could go up and check on, like, oh, so how's that release going? How's that one going?
Fantastic.
So...
How did you get involved with Laid Back Radio?
Well, that was also a bit of a luck situation, because I had my own blog Orsii.com, and I've been running that since I moved to London in 2005. And I put up a post there, like it was just a whatever post about songs that kind of changed my life, and I had like Nina Simone there, I think some Ray Charles, like just various stuff, Erykah Badu. And this guy from Laidback Radio sends me an email going, would you be interested in doing like a guest show for the station? And I knew who he was because when I used to work for Brownswood, he used to harass me all the time to get like drops from one of the artists. Or can you send me this single, that release? It's like, oh yeah, hi, oh you're pretty huge, aren't you? I'd be delighted to do a show. And it became so popular, that one guest mix, that he kind of turned around and went, would you like to make it a regular thing? So that's what I did, and I think end of July will be 4 years ago that happened.
Wow.
And I used to do it weekly, then I did it bi-weekly, and then it became monthly, mainly because I was busier and busier. But it's just, I love doing my shows, and I always put them out with the expectation of nothing. Like, I think people will hate it, I think nobody will listen to it. So it
And
honestly...
can I ask how many listeners you've had to a certain show?
Well, to a certain show, I think it's over 30,000 now, which is mental. I mean, it is.
So it's nearly as big as the Shed.
It's just crazy because I don't expect it. I don't promote it in any fancy way. I don't, you know. So the fact that people tune in every month on a regular basis and they write such nice comments on Mixcloud, it's just, it literally blows my mind.
Do you have any obsessive fans? That's a yes.
No, but yeah, I don't have obsessive fans, I wouldn't say, but I've had a few marriage proposals and that sort of stuff. And it's blown all my expectations about what my show could ever be. And I really enjoy doing them, and it's weird how, because I play a lot of jazz on the shows, because I try to play the music I don't get a chance to play when I'm out DJing. Sure. So I cram in all my jazz as much as I can. And I'm amazed that still, with all the jazz, because people would say, like, free spiritual modal jazz is a bit difficult to listen to if you don't have like the trained ear, and still like 5,000 to 7,000 people tune in every month, which is like, I consider myself to be a nobody really. So for people to list, for that many people to listen to my show with that has, I mean, people always tell me, all you do is talk about running and laugh a lot. So considering I'm not very professional about it, it's amazing how many
Best way to be.
Yeah, totally. I have to say, it's really refreshing because you're so humble in regards to, you know, what you do, which is great.
Well, I just do what I love.
Yeah, so tell us about DJ Vadim then.
he's a special man.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vadim he knows Giles, and he always used to go to the same gigs that I was going to, and I was like, oh my god, it's DJ Vadim, it's DJ Vadim. So I kind of tweeted him, and then I think, come on, it's DJ Vadim, he must get loads of tweets.
Yeah.
And then
ignores us all the time.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Well, he kind of replied to my tweet because he'd been to the same gig as I had, and obviously he must have known that I knew Giles or like something. So we kind of started talking, and then I had this idea of, look, why don't we just do a show where we just play vinyl and forget about all the rules, because I'm just fed up with, like, it's a very male-dominated industry, and everybody wants to be so cool and so, like, do you have this record, or have you heard this version, or do you have this edition? And it's like, can't we just play whatever the hell we want and just have fun and not be so serious about everything? So that's what we did, and we had so much fun, and the show was so popular that we ended up doing another one, like, I think a month ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, because he's so busy and I'm so busy, there's just been a massive gap between them.
Yeah.
But I just like, it's very nice and kind of humble of him, like a DJ of his stature to kind of come with me, and like, we didn't really know each other, but like, yeah, oh, so you're fun, come over, I'll cook for you, let's have some drinks. So yeah, he cooked for me, had some food, went downstairs, pulled out some records, and it's just like, it's mental for me to think that this is a guy I used to listen to when I lived home in Sweden, and I dreamt about moving to London, working with music since I was like 12.
I'd like to follow you around like for a few days and see if there's just like this cloud or there's sunshine that just sort of shines on you that rains on everybody else.
A little bit sunshine.
Honestly, it's been an absolute honour.
Thank you for having
Honour having you in the shed. It's been really, really lovely, and we got some cracking tunes as well.
Hey.
So yeah, thanks very much.
Thank
you,
for
yeah.
having me.
Cheers. Chris loves a bit of boogie.
I love a bit of boogie.
This is a new bit of boogie.
Now this reminds me of the sort of music I would have listened to in 1985 when I'd have gone on holiday with my parents, and you know what I mean, at a holiday camp or something like that. It's fucking fantastic. It's so good. I have to use the F word.
Yeah.
But this is actually new, right?
Yeah, it's Amalia. I don't know the song.
It's called Welcome to Me.
On Cherries Records.
And Swedish Connection.
Yeah, I think she signed to Tokyo Dawn Records. If memory serves me correctly, it's a Swedish label.
It's brilliant. It's so good.
But yeah, the label is great, she's great.
It's really, really good. The other side is really good as well. But I would have... you
You were
wouldn't...
bugging out to this, mate.
Oh, totally. I couldn't believe it was new. I mean, it just sounds like it's from 1985 or something like that.
I wasn't even
It takes me back to my school disco days. Shut up, Orsii. Fantastic.
Yeah, this was I.
No. Yeah, I was already at high school when this came. Anyway, this is such a cracking tune. But really, honestly, if you like this sort of sound, well, you're going to want to go out and get this.
Oh, and they have a new 7-inch coming out, Cherries Records, I think in 2 weeks' time.
Well, there you go. More exclusives so you can know that. Brilliant, really good.
Anyway, we're going to move on.
We're going to move on because the next one is it's cracking as well. Anyway, here we go. Lovely.
What is this? What is it?
It's Solar, Faith for Your Mind.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, it seems to be a very rare record that has been lovingly reproduced. Cracking, really good.
I think it's Superfly Records.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Has reissued them in France. They have some killer records. It's a great record shop. If you're ever in Paris, go and visit them.
Maybe me and Brad will.
A weekend to Paris.
Yeah, weekend to Paris, you never know. I love Paris
our
actually. Yeah. I love Paris. I mean, Paris is a great place for digging as well, yeah. But this, I mean, which really surprised me when listening to this, it's from 1983. I mean, you know, it could be from 10 years prior to that, you know. It's unbelievable. It's really cool looking bunch of folks on the back as well.
Yeah, they are cool.
Yeah, really good. But this track is called Faith for My Mind, and it's a real cracking.
This one's for Skeg because he requested something like this.
Ah, well, this one's for you, Skeg.
Can't let him down, can we?
No, why would we do? No.
We always try and put a smile on Skeg's face.
Skeg, our shed brother, like no other.
Even though he never bothered coming in, made us come to North London. Please.
Yeah, the only person that we had to go to him to interview. But he's a hell of a cook.
Break of the week.
And a killer break it is as well.
From
E.W. Wainwright.
Yeah. And the track's called
Keeler Don't Break.
Keeler Don't Break, yeah. This is on Love and Hate Records. Unsure of the originality of where it comes from or anything
No,
like that.
the original record that it's off from is very expensive, so I don't have it. So I had to get this 12-inch instead, purely for the original.
No, yeah, of course.
And I don't know if it'll get there, but it goes into...
It does go to some really nice vocals as well, but it's a wicked little b-boy break, this. For the more adventurous b-boys.
I don't know if you've played a break like this, have you?
I don't think we have.
No, we haven't really played many South American sort of sounding breaks, no.
I tried.
Maybe I will.
I tried to bring something that I haven't heard on your show before.
To outdo us.
Yeah, that's right, I think she has. Outclassed us and
I
everything.
am the first girl, I have to set some standard.
Yeah, there you go, we made it to wicked vocals.
Yeah. we are.
Yeah, but this one you can buy on the Fat City site. I think we put it up, it came out for Kudos maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay, cool.
Still copies left.
Cool.
There's a nice C3 vinyl.
C3 vinyl as well, so you can see the turntable when you're playing it. Anyway, so after this, we're going a bit more traditional with our soundtrack. So from this rather lovely track, we're going to go to our theme of the week.
And this is our theme of the week, chosen by our lovely guest, Orsii.
Hey!
And this is
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, where's the cover?
Don't mess with Mr. T.
Don't mess with Mr. T from the Immortal. Sorry, there you go. We can't really. Here we go. Yeah, Trouble Man soundtrack. Yeah, classic soundtrack on Motown, obviously. And Don't Mess with Mr. T. And probably a track that's a little bit overlooked because of the famous B-boy break. T plays it cool, and obviously T stands for trouble and stuff. But this is nice that this. This reminds me of one of the James Bond tracks in The Spy Who Loved Me or something, you know what I mean? It's got that sort of weird plinky plonky sound, anyway.
My friend Christian, who runs Boiler Room now but used to work for Giles Peterson, he used to open his sets with this song.
Nine dropper.
Sorry! But they will know the story later on.
Yes.
And that's why I kind of chose it,
It's brilliant, it's classic, it's lovely.
Cool. Thank you very much to our lovely guest. She smells better than all the guests that come before, and she, even though she's smaller than most except Tough Nut, and wonderful selection of tunes.
Yeah, really, really cool. It's been an absolute pleasure. So there you go. Give yourself a round of applause. There you go. Lovely.
Thank you for watching. Check out all the stuff played and all the details. Check out Jazzman. Check out Fat City.
Check out Orsii.com.
Check out Orsii.com.
Yes.
And we'll catch you next week.
Adios.
Little dance now.
Yeah.
That's right. There you go.
Are we going to miss when he sings?
Well,
We'll have long credits this time.
yeah, we can have long credits.
Thank everybody.
Yeah.
It's been one long big infomercial anyway.